Alright guys, welcome back to Death from Above 40k. It's battle report time again. Down here, got my brother Brad playing with me. Say hello, Brad.
G'day.
That was the strangest g'day ever, but we'll go with it. So today we've got two forces facing off. We've decided to go with Blood Angels versus Orks in a 1500 point matchup. Put these two lists together because I thought they'd be fun, so lots of fun units in them, and who doesn't want to see Space Marines and Orks punching on? So we'll go through the Ork list first, which Brad's going to be using. He's chosen the Orks, he wants to be Orks. Is there any reason you chose the Orks, Brad?
Because they're mushrooms.
Because they're mushrooms. Alright, we'll go with that. So, going through the list, it's got Death Killer War Track, which will be the War Boss with the best armor teeth combined, giving him a 4 up invuln, and Cyborg Body, giving him 5 up feel no pain. The next HQ will just be a War Boss with a Power Claw. And then we've just got a little mech, and he's also got a Power Claw, Power Saw, choppy, sticky things. That's 3 HQs. Then we got, as part of the battalion too, so we've got the War Boss and the Death Killer War Track, and then we've got 1, 2, 3 12-man units of boys with Knob with Combi Rocket, Power Claw, a rocket in each unit, and then they're all riding in a truck with the rocket on it as well. So lots of rockets flying out of there. Knobs to protect the War Boss, and then over here we've got, I think it's Vanguard. So we've got our stompy monsters. So we got, as I said, the mech. Then we got 3 killer cans with Can Claws and Grotzukas. We've got a Death Dread with custom Mega Blasters and 2 Dread Claws. And then at the back we've got the Morkanaut. He's got all the bells and whistles. He's got the force field. He's got the whole lot. So this should work really well together with the Death Killer War Track and sort of fast mobility and this guy getting around fixing them up and all sorts of stuff. Alright, let's have a look at the Blood Angels. So I'll be heading these guys today. This is a little bit of a mix of old and new again. So we've got a battalion to start with. So Gravis Captain, Lieutenant with Power Swords. Then we got 1, 2, 3 5-man units of Primaris Marines. Each of the sergeants has a Power Fist, and then all of them have the auto bolt rifles. Then they have a dedicated transport of a repulsor with the las cannons, onslaught Gatling cannons everywhere. We've got storm bolters, all that sort of stuff. Then we've got an elites detachment, which is the Vanguard, maybe? It'll come to me anyway. In that we've got a Smash Captain, so Goldie Boy. Then he's got Hammer, Storm Shield and Jump Pack. Then behind him we've got 5 Sangry Guard. So they've all got the Incarmine Blades. Then over here, Redemptor Dreadnought with Onslaught Gatling Cannon under his arm, all the bells and whistles. Then we've got a Death Company Dreadnought, so 3 elites. And then the last guy, who's going to be the Warlord of the Army, who's also part of the battalion, is this guy, Death Company. So he'll have the Angel's Wings, be paying the command point to give him the Death Visions of Sanguinius, all that stuff that you know to make him the ultimate Smash Captain. So that's the list. So both of these lists come in at 1500 pretty much on the button, and 9 command points each. So we'll roll up a mission and see what we can do. Alright, we'll get back to you. Alright guys, so we've got the table set up, going from right across to left. The mission is take and hold. So there's an objective in each side and one in the center. So this is the center objective here. Then on the Orcs side, theirs is here. And then for the Blood Angels, it's just there between them. So there's sort of this little triangle here. So this is going to be, I don't even know if much of this side of the battlefield will get used by the looks of things. Brad's deployment here, he's got truck with the boys in it. He's got the big guy leading the charge, just looking down the center here at these Blood Angels. And in there's a War Boss and 5 knobs. Then if you come back here, Death Killer War Track, Death Dread, Killer Cans, and then he's got his little mech hidden in there. Then if we come around this side, for the Blood Angels, over here on the other side of the battlefield, I've hidden the repulsor here with 2 5-man tactical squads in. Well, not tactical squads, what are they called again? The Primaris version. It'll come back to me. Then if we come over here, where my objective is, and facing off against this big thing, We've got Redemptor Dread, Gravis Captain, Death Company Captain, Lieutenant, 5-man squad here. Then we've got Sangri Guard, Death Company Dread, and another captain with Jump Pack and Thunderhammer. Alright, so I set up first and going first, unless Brad can seize the initiative, which he's going to try now. So, where are you rolling that one, mate?
No.
That's a 3. So, Blood Angels will be having first turn, and hopefully we can destroy every orc on the battlefield and get to it. Alright, we'll be back. Alright guys, at the end of Blood Angels turn 1, there's been a bit of movement. So the repulsors jumped out from behind here, come over here. All the stuff that was here has moved up behind here to get a bit of cover and whatnot. This stuff sort of slowly moved forward in here, and the dreads come around here. Everything in the army shot at the big guy and removed 4 wounds off him. So we won't be getting first strike today. And obviously we don't score any points for these objectives till the end of the game. So you got to hold them at the end of the game. So far, Blood Angels no points, little bit of movement. We'll let the Orcs have their turn and see if they can't come at us. Alright guys, so at the end of the Orc turn 1, Brad's made a bit of a mess of things. So they were all behind here and everything's pushed forward. We've got things pushed forward over here, all coming towards the centre. Now Brad had a Morkanaut here that ran across the field, shot into my Death Company Dreadnought, blew it off the map, then managed to charge into here and kill a Sangri Guard. But then my captain intervened with the Sangri Guard and chopped down the Morkanaut. So it's no longer here, and it's spilt its stuff out here. So these guys all survived that. Everything else here shot over here and took a few wounds off this guy. Other than that, it was sort of just a real good solid push forward and got across the field really quickly. One of the big things here is that Brad did get first strike, so he's now got a point that I can't get back. Anything you want to say about your Morkanaut, Brad?
Unlucky.
It was a bit unlucky. It did do a lot of damage before it died, but anyway. Alright, we'll see what the Blood Angels can do in their next turn now that the Morkanaut, the big fella's out of the picture. Alright guys, at the end of the Blood Angels turn 2, some shenanigans happened, but it was funny, it was orky, it was all those things. So, we pushed forward as normal. This swung around here, and everything else is sort of in the centre here. So first off, this come over here, shot into the Death Dread and took some wounds off it. These guys sort of shot in here, killed some knobs and whatnot. This thing shot at a truck over here, took some wounds off it. And just a few bolt rounds here and there. But then, so over here, this guy cleaned up all of the knobs, and then the lieutenant charged into the war boss, taking him down to 1 wound, but also losing his life to the claw. Over here, so I mashed into his Death Killer War Track and took it down to 1 wound, and then it smashed back into my Dreadnought and took it down to 5 wounds. Then over here, because I thought that combat was over, I've gone over here and attacked the Death Dread that was still there and took the last wounds off, but then it exploded, killed one of my Sangri Guard, completely annihilated my Golden Captain, who didn't even get to attack. It was actually what killed his Death Killer War Track, who was on 1 wound, and then took wounds off everything all around it. So me attacking that, blowing up, orky shenanigans, things just died everywhere. So it was a really good turn there. Points wise, Brad's still ahead by 1 point, and he's still got trucks full of boys everywhere. He's still got killer cans and all that sort of good stuff, and this guy's now the boss of the army. Alright, so... Oh, sorry, you've got the war boss. Yeah, so, yeah, no, that's the boss of the army. Mighty's right. Alright, so Brad will have his turn, and turn 2, and we'll get back to his shit is dying everywhere. Alright guys, end of the Orc turn, and some stuff has gone down. So Brad surrounded me with his trucks here. He's still kept all his boys in. These have made it all the way over here, as you can see, and this guy's here. So, shooting wise, this truck come around the back and shot into the back of my Redemptor Dreadnought, blew it away. This truck here shot into my captain here, he even paid command points to shoot again, took him down to 2 wounds. This one here shot and killed some Sangri. There was a combination of stuff. So Sangri Guard, there's only two of them left, and one of them's got 1 wound. They've punched on in combat 2, and this guy's down to 1 wound himself. Over here, the war boss and this guy went to battle. This guy took 3 wounds, but the war boss is dead. And then over here, he managed to scramble across here, catch my tank, and take 6 wounds off it with these guys. So he's still got all his boys in his trucks. And he's got this guy here, and he's still 1 point ahead. So every loss I'm taking now isn't so good. But that's alright, so we'll get on with the next Blood Angel turn and see if we can't start taking apart some of these trucks, pulling some boys out of them and shooting them. Anything you want to say about that, Brad?
Not really, I just didn't know what was going to happen there, but you made too many saves with your captain.
I did make saves as a captain, but he's got a 3-up in Von, but that's alright. We'll get back to the next Blood Angel's turn and we'll get at it. Alright guys, at the end of Blood Angel's turn 3, some shenanigans have happened again. So these guys stayed here to babysit this at the back for the end of the game. This captain come over here, punched his way through a truck. It blew up, the boys got out, and then they punched back and took him down to 1. Over here, my hammer guy punched through a truck, then these boys got out, piled in, and hit him back and killed him. Over here, these guys cut down the mech. This thing, these guys all got out and punched through the mechs and got this one down to 1. Lost the guy in return. So that was pretty good, and they're holding that center objective. And this flew over here and I think shot the last vehicle over here, wasn't it? Yeah. And these guys got out. So there's orcs everywhere on the battlefield now. But we've got the Primaris Marines here, but it's Brad's turn. So he's about to have his turn 3 and retaliate with these orcs. He's still got some good numbers. This guy's on 1 wound. See what he can do, see if he can take me out, and we'll get back to yous. Alright guys, at the end of the orc turn 3, Brad swung things around a little bit, so let's go in and have a look. So over here, these guys cut down my captain. He cut down a few of them, but then he was taken. Then over here, he did some multi-charging here. So first he shot into my repulsor with rockets and took off a heap of wounds. Then he ran in with power claws and finished it off, multi-charging. He also multi-charged these guys to lock them down, but didn't do anything to them. And also all the other shots, he shot into here and killed a few Marines and wounded some. And this is running away over here at the moment, but who knows, he might come back. So at this point, all I've got left is the Marines in here, these Marines and these Marines, and he's pretty much got, I've also got the Sangri Guards here who are probably now the captain of the army, and he's got all these Orc boys. So now I'm going to try and shoot him off the table hopefully and win the game, but we'll see what happens. I'll get back to you with my next turn. Alright. Okay, so end of Blood Angels turn 4. It's down to a tight wire here. So these guys here come out and killed off the rest of the orcs that were here while still sort of being in here and holding this objective. Over here, we lost the Sangri Guard. He lost some orcs. They're still fighting. And then over here, I used this unit here to shoot the killer can away that was here. And then this unit shot into this unit, then ran in. I didn't do as well as I thought I would with the shooting, and I'm running assault bolters, so I had a lot of shots, but 3's a hit, 4's the wound, and then he made a couple of 6-ups and whatnot, so then he killed some guys back. So it's all sort of just a whirling combat here. So looks like Brad's going the next round, and we'll see what he'll do with his last remaining little rabble of orcs here. Alright, we'll get back to you. Alright guys, at the end of Orc turn 4, they've come over here, kicked in some more Primaris heads. They killed the Sanger Guard and hid behind this from these bolt rounds. And that's about all that happened. So pretty much it was just some combats. So I'll go on with my next turn, see if I can't do something to these orcs. I've only got a couple of Marines left. It's going down to the wire. We'll see how it goes. So, alright guys, at the end of the Blood Angel turn, we're holding this objective here, and we've cleared out all orcs except these two, and these guys passed their leadership. Now, at this point in time, the Brad's looking to get a draw. So what he wants to do is, because I'm holding this objective, it is turn 5, so he's going to try and, we've just checked out, so these two guys here are not part of this unit. So if he can get enough rocket shots off, run in, charge and assault these guys and get this objective, and then the game ends, he can get himself, actually get the win because you've got 1 point. Alright, so start with your rockets, mate. Roll them over here. We're just going to roll this on camera, get it out of the way.
Let's move them.
Yep, it's going to get over there.
There.
Yep. Alright, 2 rockets. Where you roll, mate? Over here. Oh, that's an extra hit and a 1's a re-roll. So, extra 1, roll again.
No.
Alright, so you got 1 hit, rolled wound.
2, yes.
That's a wound, so save. What was that? 3, so that's flat 3 damage. So you've definitely killed a guy.
Yep.
Alright, now pretty much, what was your big thing? Your combat. So you're going to try and charge in.
Yep.
So I'll get some dice out here for Overwatch. What have we got? 3, 3 and 3, so I need 6s. Get 2. 1 wound.
Damn it.
You can take it on the knob.
Actually, that's probably a good idea. I'll take it on the knob.
Alright, so in you go. You've made your charge, so your attack, so power claws.
Oh, I've got to make the charge first, roll.
Oh, okay. Roll. That's definitely in.
Yep, that's what I need.
So in you go. Now let's see what these power claw attacks can do.
Okay, come on, let's do this. Oh, 3 hits.
That's 3 hits. Alright, 2's to wound. Alright, let's...
Yes.
So I've failed all 3 of them, but 1 guy will instantly die because he's already wounded. Now let's roll D3 for this guy here on the objective.
Yep.
So he'll die. And then for this guy, come on.
Yes.
He's dead. So you've wiped off the unit, but now we've come to the conundrum, Brad. Does the game end? On a 1 or a 2, can you roll it? If you do, you win the game. No. Alright. So that was a valiant effort there. That's what Brad had left. So... pretty much we've got to remove these guys from here, which shouldn't be an issue. And then it will be a Blood Angels victory. But that was actually a very, very... awesome thing you just did there. So have you got any man of the match or anything you want to add? Obviously these guys are your man of the match.
I would say that with
The Morkanaut?
not the Morkanaut, the other one, the Dreadnought blowing up.
Oh, actually, yeah. So you're going to take him blowing up and killing a heap of shit as your man of the match?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm just going to go with the Humble Marine as my man of the match because the Primaris Marines just stood around with all their wounds and whatnot. Alright, so that was a really close game. We're only getting away with it by a very short margin. So that was good. If you like this, like and subscribe. The other thing too is, give us a shout out if there's any battles you want to see on the channel, like matchups, different armies, the armies you want to see, all that sort of feedback. Give us a mention in the comment of what you want to see and we'll go from there. Alright guys, enjoy the rest of your evening.